Today we have Jayden Calvert, who is our Miss Rodeo Canada for 2022, and she is here today to tell us about her journey and the stuff she's doing right now. And so thank you so much for being with us today, Jayden.
Thank you for having me, Thomas. Can't wait to have a chat.
And so, Jayden, how does one compete for the crown of Miss Rodeo Canada?
So to become Miss Rodeo Canada, first you have to represent another pro rodeo within our Canadian Professional Rodeo Association. So I was so privileged to be able to take the title of Miss Rodeo Sundry to that prestigious competition in November at the Canadian Finals Rodeo in Red Deer. And at the Canadian Finals Rodeo, we had a sort of a pageant style competition to select who the 2022 Miss Rodeo Canada was going to be. There were 3 of us ladies that were vying for the title, and we competed in the areas of public speaking and horsemanship, personal interviews, written exams, and a little bit of modeling too, which was kind of cool.
And so, Jayden, what are some of the experiences that you've gotten to have as being Miss Rodeo Canada, and what are some of the highlights that you've had so far this year?
So as Miss Rodeo Canada, I get to travel across North America representing Canadian professional rodeo and the agriculture industry in Canada. So far, I've had the opportunity to travel a little bit. I was at the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas last December. I also got to take in the National Western Stock Show in Denver, Colorado this January. I went to a rodeo in Florida for a week in February. And I also made a trip to Texas. So I've been representing our Maple Leaf south of the border. And now I'm so excited that our Canadian rodeo season has finally kicked off. We've had about 5 or 6 Canadian rodeos so far up here in Alberta and British Columbia. And I've been trying to get to as many of those as possible. And my schedule is very full. I will be at least one rodeo every weekend until the end of September.
And then what skills do you need to be Miss Rodeo Canada, and where did you kind of get those skills as you were growing up?
Part of what attracted me to becoming a rodeo queen was that I felt that I already had the skills that I would need to represent the sport of rodeo because I was a very dedicated 4-H member. I spent 11 years in 4-H as a member of both the Big West Cruisers Horse 4-H Club and Two Rivers Beef Club in the Drayton Valley District. And of course, I did a whole bunch of public speaking, and being a horse 4-H member meant that I had a lot of horsemanship skills. I grew up showing and competing in different events like that. And I felt that this was the next logical step for me to utilize those very important skills that I learned growing up and to benefit the sport that I love, which is rodeo.
And so, Jayden, what are the kind of roles that you have as you finish up being Miss Rodeo Canada, as you will finish up once the year is over? And then what is next for you after Miss Rodeo Canada?
So I will be crowning a new Miss Rodeo Canada out of a field of candidates at the Canadian Finals Rodeo this November in Red Deer. That's November 2nd to 6th will be the Canadian Finals Rodeo. And I will actually continue on with the crown for the rest of 2022. So I will attend the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas in December as Miss Rodeo Canada and sort of finish out the year with all of our Canadian athletes that will be representing us down there. And then after I hand over my crown and a new Miss Rodeo Canada takes over, I will actually have to get a real job because of course right now I don't have time to have a full-time job. I'm a full-time rodeo queen for this year, but I recently last spring in 2021, I finished my agriculture degree from the University of Alberta. So I have an animal science degree and I can't wait to use it. I'm not exactly sure what my career path after this is going to look like, but I'm excited to see what opportunities come out of this year. And I'm really looking forward to the future and joining the agriculture industry in a professional capacity.
Thank you so much for your time today, Jayden, and hopefully you have inspired some more rodeo queens to try and compete for the crown of Miss Rodeo Canada from across Alberta and Saskatchewan, as you have shown from your small town roots that anybody can compete and become Miss Rodeo Canada. And so thank you so much.
That's exactly right, Thomas. Thank you so much. And if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram at Miss Rodeo Canada. And you can also follow along at missrodeocanada.ca.